go, 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 shorty. It's your birthday.
Open on Ruse Bolton looking at Rob's army getting fucked on. There's legs cut off, strangulation, and Arya sees Greywind's head on Robbo's body. Luckily, her and Sandor blow this fucking taco stand. Sansa and Tyrion joke about what they want to do to people that pick on them. It's actually a pretty fun date. Joffrey is jizzing in his undies over the fact Robb and Catelyn are dead. He wants to take the opportunity to bully Sansa, but Tyrion says get fucked, and Tywin sends the cocky wanker to bed. Instead of realising all of his ideas are shit, he chucks a major wobbly. Tywin and Tyrion then chat about how noble it is to kill people at a wedding. Tywin doesn't give a shit as long as his bloodline is okay. Sansa has a grieve, Mira has a run, Bran and the team find a place to crash for the night. He tells a story about murder and hospitality. Walder Frey munches on leftovers and talks about how awesome the Red Wedding was. Class A cunt. Meanwhile, in the torture chamber, Ramsay taunts Theon with a pork snagger. He then beats the shit out of him until he accepts his new name, which is Reek. Sam and Gilly gate crash Bran's cubby house and try to convince him and the gang to come to Castle Black. Branno says, nah, I gotta keep trucking north. Ramsay has sent Balon Greyjoy and Yara Theon's dick in a box. They need to get all Iron Islanders out of the north. Balon doesn't care about his son, but Yara is getting pumped up to attempt a rescue mission. Sambo gives Team Branno some dragon glass in case they run into a bunch of White Walkers. They then continue their quest at a leisurely pace. Davos and Gendry bond because they were both born poor as fuck. Varys gives Shay a bunch of diamonds and tells her to leave King's Landing. Her grumpiness puts her and Tyrion in danger. But she doesn't listen to him, chucks the diamonds away and says you can't stop me from being grumpy. Tyrion trains Pod the Rod to drink like a champion. An annoying bouncer kicks him out of the club. She then bangs on about how awesome children are and tries to convince Tyrion to sort one out with Sansa. A bunch of blokes are bragging about killing Arya's family and the Stark army. She goes full psycho on one of them and the Hound sorts out the others. Sandor says next time you're gonna do that, give us a heads up, will ya? Jono has something in his eye. Ygritte rocks up and they talk about their feelings. She shoots an arrow in his back and another in his thigh, lines him up and gets one more in. After that, she has a cheeky cry. Maester Aemon continues being the toppest of top blokes by letting Gilly stay at Castle Black. He then gets Sambo to write and send out a group email. Davos receives it and pulls it from his inbox. Shireen helps him read it and he grows concerned about the Night's Watch needing help. He then talks to Stannis about freeing Gendry, but it's a no-go. So he sets him free in a rowboat with no GPS or supplies. Jono has made it back to Castle Black and needs a band-aid. Jaime makes it back to King's Landing and needs some fresh clothes. Davos gets in the shit for freeing Gendry, but it's all good. Finally, Daenerys gives a pretty long speech and then crowd surfs like a rock star. End. Overall, this episode was quite a soft landing after the Red Wedding, which is fine. The intensity was turned down a notch or two, but it doesn't mean that it was a dull episode. We actually got some splendid, understated little scenes. There was still a lot of gruesome shit, don't get me wrong. Robb's body with a wolf's head on it, Theon's dick in a box, and Arya turning into a child murderer is all pretty full-on stuff. But thematically it was a soft, emotional episode. It's called Misa, which means mother, so there's a real strong family theme. Cersei talks about how being a mother is the only thing she cares about. Dany is becoming a mother of the people, and Arya is now motherless, so going through a reprobate phase to say the least. Outside of mothers, there's just a lot of family talk. Tywin emphasises the importance of protecting his bloodline. Roose is now Warden of the North, so his bastard son Ramsay is going to be somewhat more important to him. Balon and Yara talk about the state of their family with Theon gone and having no cock to keep the Greyjoy bloodline going. It's one big family drama this episode. My favourite scenes were Tywin and Tyrion as usual. The chemistry between Dinklage and Charles Dance is sensational. This whole section with Joffrey gloating over Stark deaths is brilliant. The scene before this with Sansa and Tyrion was actually really great, so to see them build a bond and have it snuffed out so fast because of Tyrion's shit family is frustrating in a good, oh you gotta be kidding kind of way. The scene with Walder and Ruse was great. We learn how petty Walder Frey is, talking about how everyone underestimates him and his family, like his motivation for all of this is jealousy and spite. I love hating him so much. It's good fun. Bran and Sam running into each other, this was also great fun. I love it when characters cross paths like this. I think it's a strong episode because it explores the aftermath of the Red Wedding whilst setting up new plots for Season 4. There's a lot of time spent talking about the Red Wedding, which is logical because it's a huge event that's rocked the kingdoms, so we need to have, people talking about it and breaking it down. Essentially, a whole army has been wiped out. But yeah, it's great to know Bran is on to the next phase of his journey. Arya and the Hound will need to find a completely new direction. Dany's power is growing and Jaime has finished his journey for the season, yet now has to adapt to being home again. It's skillfully done to wrap stuff up, yet set it up. Jon and Ygritte also get to have an official breakup chat, which, doesn't end too well, but Jono will recover and we'll get to explore his post-breakup persona next season. His productivity, I think, should increase after a breakup. Oh, fuck yes for Davos and Gendry, by the way. The chemistry between these two, it's good stuff. Their scene was good, and I feel like Davos freeing Gendry gives him a bit of peace after his son's death. He let his son get too full on with the religious shit, but he took a chance to save Gendry from it all. He's just an outright legend, that Davos. Anyway, look, I reckon it's a strong finale overall, and it really sets up Season 4 nicely. Cheers!